Hey everyone, I am jumping back in for my second hour. It's 2:42. Let's keep an eye on the time, make sure by 3:45 I wrapped up for hour two of example entry for contest UX Design Contest 17 for partnering with AI to build a site or app. And so to pick up where we left off last time, I'm trying to create this resource site, something that I want to revive that I had a long time ago and took down because it was a pain to maintain. It just got outdated quickly. And so now I have this like really cool thing with, oh, come on, let's show some of the filters. The ability to like filter, the ability to search, got image placeholders. We've got these cards that can have just pop up, that has stuff. Great. There's a whole bunch of styling obviously left to do, polish. I think I'm going to punt on that and save that for last. I played around a little bit last time with updating some of the styles using Tailwind CSS. So the nice thing about V0 is it's using Tailwind CSS. So you should be able to reference any of the colors and any of the other style controls for it. And you can find those in Tailwind CSS. And so today what I thought I would do for my next big block is populate the resource site. And so what I want to do for that is a couple things. I want to have both links that go out. And actually, is there a way to access the thing? Maybe one of the key things doesn't actually exist. That's hilarious. Okay, so it's always fun to step away for something for a little bit and then come back and look at it with fresh eyes. Like I missed one of the key pieces of functionality, which is we need a link to be able to go to the resource. I think that probably the easiest thing we can do is maybe make two buttons for this card pattern. I'm just going to see what it looks like. That's one of the nice things. You can just have an idea and then pop it in. So, oh, wow, I forgot to add the ability to access the resources via a link or download button. Let's make a primary button for, what's the action that I want to use? For access a resource for linked resources and download. It's going to be a mouthful to have this resource in here. Access for linked resources and download for, well, are they also going to be linked? Downloadable files such as .fig, what else might I have? .pdf, some other stuff. And then let's click anywhere in the card right now, or only here? Only there triggers it, interestingly. And then let's change the text from, okay, so that's it. So let's make a primary button. And then let's transform the existing view tips and tricks button into a secondary action button with the label access download go to resource. All right, let's get something up so we can see what it looks like. I'm trying to like figure this out in my head, and I'm like, yeah, it's not super adding up. But let's just finish our train of thought and get this going. View details. Or maybe we just say view tips. Okay, let's see where that gets us. I didn't explain enough saying like Figma should go to figma.com. So we'll see how it interprets it. That's part of the learning is like try being fuzzy. And if that's not working, that's clear. HTTPS figma.com. Nice. That's working. It's going through, it's building. Let's see these buttons. Where's this next button? Aha, there we go. It's actually fairly decent. I mean, the styling is not great, but that launches in a new thing. That's cool. WXD is currently in maintenance mode. Kill that. What happens if I do this? Download can't be found. Okay, interesting. But that's fine. Maybe I can make a simple file. Can I give you a file, a downloadable file to use for testing with that sketch resource? And then we're just going to find something here. Can I move this? Okay, let's just look at cool. Let's just grab my profile pic because that's something easy that I can find. Let's use the attached file. I'm curious to see if it can even set this up. That'll be really nice. I notice it provides a PNG image, but for our sketch resource, we need a sketch file format. Yeah, modify it. Okay, it's nice that it's asking me. Modify the resource type to match this file for testing. Thinking. So while it's doing that, let's hop over here. I'm in Claude now, and I'm going to start generating a list of great resources for UX designers. And then I'm going to look at the list and I'm going to curate some of them because I have some of my own ideas. I want to add things in. Will you please? I'll tell them what I'm trying to do. I'm a UX product designer and mentor who wants to create a curated list of the best tools, resources, templates, files to help UX designers more efficiently. Also want to include relevant AI tools such as yourself. You're still here. ChatGPT, Midjourney, etc. Will you please, what do I want the format to be? Maybe a table? Will you please generate a table with the following columns? It's going to be resource, type, link, one-line description. It's going to be brief, blurb. How type, link, it's kind of got this like job, UX design job that it helps with, like prototype, document, present, research, etc. 2 to 3. Let's go farther. Let's say pro tips. 3 to 5 time saving or power boosting ways of using the tool. Okay, let's do that. Thanks. Looks like it stopped at description. Intro. Oh, no, it's got it. It's just, it was hiding. Nice. Some of these are pretty good. I'd like to add resources specific to good UI patterns and also psychology behind UX design, laws of UX, good UI, etc. Also, the best of the best books, such as Steve Krug's Don't Make Me Think, O'Reilly books, etc. Also, please add my former company user testing. And then it's going to keep iterating on this. Let's head back to check out how this works. Where did I go? Oh, wow. That's kind of frightening to see my face that big and like I'm peeking through a box. Yay, at least I'm smiling. Let's see if it works. Nice. So it opens that in a new page where you can download it. Is there a file? How does download work? There is HTML download. Is there a link type specifically for downloading? This is also something I could probably ask Perplexity. Yes, HTML has a link. Use the download attribute. Okay, so let's make sure we're using the download attribute for that download button so that it prompts the browser to download rather than opening the file in a new window. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, cool. So now we've got, I guess, split it up into sections. Keep adding some things. About face, love it. 100 things, yes. Main UX, hooked. Information architecture, great. UX booth. Cognitive UX. Okay, got the had laws of UX already. Nice. Human interface guidelines, cool. Let's go ahead and add a bunch more practical tools, including Perplexity for web research. I want to include Tailwind, CSS, and V0, and Webflow, and Canva, and remove.bg. Well, what are some other utilities I end up using a lot of? VS Code, Arc Browser, VS Code, Arc Browser. Got Notion, GitHub. Yeah. What else? What else? Other stuff I use on. Let's just push that. Back to what's going on. Let's see if it works. Boom. It worked. Very cool. Okay, cool. So now I got some different types. Let's modify the layout so that, let me draw, let's see. I have this thing in Figma, right? So I can probably like fake example this. Let's grab this Figma example. I'm going to try to show it what I want instead of writing it out. So this is what we have now. And basically what I want, what I'm thinking about is crop. Okay, it's good. And I'm going to put this in a frame. And let's just a square, good enough. Let's have this frame be an auto layout. What's going on? File, frame, the image. Wait a minute. What's this image? I see what happened. Let's make this auto layout. There we go. Getting a little happier here. And then let's fill it with, sure. There we go. Okay, now I'm just going to copy this, Shift Command C, and go back and say, let's modify the layout so that there's room for a square image to the left of the content. And actually, I think, yeah, that's fine. Let's try this. Like the example image attached. Note, at the smallest breakpoint, mobile device, it can change to single column with image on top. Okay, let's see how to, previous section. I hate when it does this, like previous section stuff. Okay, tell what flow, VS Code, raindrop. Never heard that one. Linear. Okay, interesting. Raycast, rectangle. Okay, yep. Oh, what's the? I need to add. Want to add my favorite screenshot tool. Snagit. Please show the full lists. As that's working, it's kind of cool. We can make, oh, nice. Like it even did, it even does way better, right? I did my like simple, crappy, quick screenshot thing and it made it way better. This is super nice. That's great. And then we can check the mobile breakpoint as well, right? Yep. So we see, wow, it gets really big, but hopefully that's significantly bigger than on mobile. Mobile would be more like this. I'm kind of questioning whether I actually want an image or not. Because then this is just a single column. I still like the cards being separate. Let's actually remove the image for now and stick with the original card layout where we showed multiple cards in a row. Okay, and while it's doing that, let's go back. We've got a bunch of stuff here. We have links. Presumably these links work. Great. Cool. Can we please? Ooh, let's add podcasts. Ooh, let's add podcasts. 5 to 7. Let's add popular UX podcasts and also UX design contest, of course. Contest. Boom. Once it's got that, I'll have it put it in a whole one list, have them combine everything into one list. Please merge them all into a single list and display the full list for me. Okay, so we got rid of the images. Cool. I think that's fine. We'll think of something nice and visual to do when we can. Let's try bringing some of these over. Once it's done writing, I'm going to, we're missing links for some of these. Let's find the missing links. Look at it go. Will you please try to find Amazon.com links for the books that are missing links? Link to Kindle version, please. Let's see, I haven't done anything else here. Maybe we can say like, I'd like to add the ability for site users to leave a rating and review. That was highly curated. I'd like to add the ability for user to suggest a resource to be added to the list. The form entry point should be at the top of the page in line with the title and subtitle. Like Adam says, suggest resource. On clicking the button, subtle button, the modal should appear containing a form with the following fields. Let's go full name, email address, resource link, why it should be added, any tips or tricks to share. Let's make this optional. Following required fields, and a submit button that packages the info up and sends it to my email address, which I'll tell you later since we're doing this public thing. All right, where are we at? We got the cool. That's good enough. Okay, please give me the full table view with all the contents. Okay, so we got it working on that. Meanwhile, we've got our suggest resource button that we'll be able to test out shortly. Just looking to see that it stopped working. It's a bummer there's nothing over here visually. This would be an actually interesting exercise. Like, how could V0 be better? I think out of the box, like one of the things would be nice to set up is have a CSS file, so I could do all the styling in another file and it'll import it. I'll hook that up next, but let's check this functionality. Test user test at domain.com, google.com. It's Google. Nope. Interesting. It requires HTTPS. Let's go ahead and add HTTPS in the, what's the field again? Resource link. And the resource, let's go ahead and prepend. That means add to the beginning in the resource link field if the user doesn't include the HTTP header. On submit. All right, let's see. We got this table now. Sweet. Now let's download this. All right, so now I've got this download that I can play with. I'm going to use this to update our resource link. Okay, let's find out if this thing worked. Does not. It checks the if resource link. If the protocol, it prepends the link. It creates an updated form object with potentially. It says it does all that, but it doesn't do that. It's not working. This basically feels very much like pairing with an engineer, just a very slow engineer. So exercising patience is key. The good thing is it's infinitely patient with me. Okay, it wants to know more. So what I'm seeing is that if I enter google.com in the field and hit submit, I get an error message that, what's the error message? Please enter URL. And I don't see any HTTPS injected at the beginning of the text to validate. See if that's enough. We're going to modify how we handle the resource link input. Okay. Let's see if it works. Okay, that seemed to have worked. I can't confirm because it didn't go to the email, so I guess I'll have to make sure I double check that later. But it didn't do the error message, so Nice, I think. Alrighty, let's shift gears. I'm going to attach a table containing a list of resources and details I want to use to populate the set of resource cards displayed. One note, I'd like to keep that profile picture template as a way to test the downloadable file resource. Everything else should be replaced by the resources from the attached content. Okay, and we're going to go into complete resources markdown. Okay, let's see it work its magic. Add more resources here. It looks like it's just skip things, I think. I think it's only going to have 3 or 4 resources. Oh, that's funny. Oh, and it changed all of my types. Okay. Yeah, it's only got 4 things there. Okay. It's a lazy helper developer. Still working. Directionally, that's nice. But there was, but the list, well, actually, I should check the list. Maybe I don't know what's in the list. I haven't verified it. Yeah, it looks like 50-ish things. It's a lot of things. A small number of resources in that attached list. I want all those resources must be translated into cards, and the profile picture template should be added last. I'm expecting around 50 or so cards. Let's see if it can get over its laziness. You're absolutely right. Okay, let's see you do it. It's going to take some time. 3, 4, okay. 5, all right. So far, so good. It's nice. It looks like it organized them alphabetically, which is, I guess, maybe interesting to figure out how I want to order that. I can always go into the markdown list and change things around. Midjourney, Miro, Nielsen Norman Group, Notion, Optimal Workshop, Perplexity, Raindrop, I've never heard of. I've checked that out. Raycast. Rectangle I've used, but actually I like Moom. Let's make sure we have that. The window management app for Mac and Keyboard Maestro, the macro management app for Mac. Yeah. Nice. Look at all this stuff. It's pretty darn cool. Oh no. Oh, okay, there it goes. It's writing. I need to be patient. Why does it continue generating? It looks like it's got all of them. That's nice. But it doesn't continue generating. I think it stopped and it didn't go through and do the tips and tricks, right? I guess because it was trying to do so much. It's interesting. I hadn't seen that continue generating before. Only got about 20 minutes left. Things are looking reasonably good. Some layout things to polish there. That's what it is. Maybe just make the card tappable, the entire card tappable except assets access. Yeah, that's all working. You have things like workflow, command launcher, track, linear, test. Put GitHub in there, process, structure, strategy, portfolio, develop, okay, grow, different podcasts, ideate, interesting, present, okay, prototype, yeah, organize, a browser, and a bookmark manager, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to think through the IA of this quite a bit, but so far it's getting good. It's got a lot of what we want. You can even suggest a resource. What did I want to do next? Fix this imbalance. So, let me add these two. Also, let's ensure that when two or more cards are displayed in line in a row, the action buttons are all anchored to the bottom of the card. I'm just going to take a quick screenshot and show an example. Let's go ahead and open this up. I don't think you're going to be able to see the screen right now, but I'm just going to kind of draw a shape here. See in that image I attached how the buttons are not in the red outlined area where they're expected. Please fix. Ta-da! So it's working on that. Let's. Oh no, previous resource remain the same. I wonder if that's going to mess everything up. Seems like it doesn't like to deal with. Yeah, there's an error. It tries to take these shortcuts, unfortunately. I wonder if I say that at the beginning, like never take any shortcuts. Please no shortcuts. Damn. Did it. Did the shortcuts. Well, let's see if it fixes it did add those two things. Let's see if it fixes the alignment issue. Wow. Did we lose so many? Oh yeah, because there's so many fewer resources. Let's see how this rolls. It looks like it's going to be fixed. I can see they're in line, which is nice. Okay, maybe before I have it do the rest of the list. So cool, it's got that one fixed. It also added these two things. Cool. Nice. All right, what was the next thing I want to do? I know I want the full list, but before I do the full list, oh yeah, I want the external CSS file. Please create a standalone CSS file and reference it in the main file so that I can work in the CSS file to style all elements. And then we can test it real quick. And then we're coming up on time. I think I'm mostly to a place where first let's create a new CSS file. Okay, great. Do that. Nice. Whoa, everything got white. All my dark mode is broken. Let's see what happens. And it got stuck on an error. I still don't see an external file. I was expecting to see, I've got preview, I've got this TypeScript file. I was expecting to see a CSS file because I don't know where else I would see that. Maybe I should have set an empty CSS file. That might have helped avoid the issues. So how do I find the CSS file? how do I access the CSS file you created? And it's called styles.css. The access is you typically find it in the project's file structure. So what does add to code base mean? Will you please make the killed all of the styles, huh? And sure we have the same root level styling that we had in, let's see which version. 22, 21, version 21. Version 21. How come the preview is not updated? Why isn't the preview reflecting same styling as seen in V21? Let's bring back the tailwind CS styles from V21 and leave an empty CSS file for me to add overrides, style overrides later. Let's see if this fixes it. Yeah, looks like it. Okay. So that's working. And then I think before we wrap up, I'm curious to see like how I can access that other CSS file. Oh no, did the buttons, I lost my button alignment. Oh, bummer. You fix one thing, you break another. Well, I can fix it on my own. I'll fix that later. So how do I access the code for this and publish it. So there's this add to code base, there's a fork, and there's a share. But I'm just going to ask V0 to see what happens. Access the code, you can follow steps. Accessing how the code you see is not directly accessible as a local file. You need to copy the code from the V0 interface into your local dev environment. Set up your local environment, Node.js, all this stuff, create Node.js project, copy the code, install dependencies, test locally, dang, publishing, on Vercel. Okay, well, it does tell me all the steps, just more than I want to do right now. If I want to host this on GitHub, what are the steps? So this will guide you through the process. Let's see, create a GitHub account. So I'll get configure Git. I already got that. Create a new repo. Blah, blah, blah. Open a terminal. Yes, yes. Node. Page source. Yes. If you're using Next.js as server-side rendering or API routes, GitHub pages won't be sufficient. Interesting. You need to use a service like Vercel, Netlify, or a cloud provider can run Node.js. Okay, so I probably want to get this running on Vercel, which is interesting. I've never done that. What is this add to code base thing? Run this command to add this block to your code base. Okay. I can fork this. I can share it. Let's make it public. Publish. Cool. Visit the site. Great. Let's get to add all the resources on, and then let's wrap up. Thanks. Let's go back and make sure 100% of the resources are added. And then we'll call it a day. So I think this link will get updated with every change that it makes. So we'll see. It's going through. Yes. Okay, it looks like it's doing it, which is nice. Just got to be explicit. So you can kind of see, like, it's very powerful in getting a prototype up and going. Is it as good as pairing with a human engineer? No, 100% not today anyways. But I don't know how fast it's growing and improving. So my expectation is that there will be a day in the not so distant future where tools like these will be as good and effective and as fast as human developers. And then it will handle more of the steps. So when I say, hey, here's what I want to do. I want to be able to publish this, and I want to have a link from my website that opens this page, and an easy way to go back. And it'll just help me set everything up, as well as make sure I have access to things like an external CSS file to do overrides. So I'm probably not going to go down the override route this time because I'm shooting for doing this in under 4 hours. I still haven't recorded a presentation, and I only have about an hour left for the actual site. So I think I'll probably spend a little bit of time just using Tailwind CSS, right? So using all of the styling things that I can do here for the site. And let's see if that's been updated. This one should be updated too. No? Let's see. I'll wait till it's done. It's not done yet, is it? Okay, now it's 100% done. Yes. Yes. Interesting. Okay, so that's something important to know. If I go back into share and I go to publish. Yeah, okay, so it's actually that version. So interesting. Okay, cool. But I mean, this is what I've got in 2 hours. I think it's significantly faster than I could have done on my own, although we're missing the details. Ugh, we always lose something. Why? Why? Oh no, it just hasn't loaded yet. It's slow. I see. That's a bummer. Look how slow it is. It's still loading this and it hasn't loaded the view tips. We only have 1 minute left. Please make sure the buttons are all aligned at the bottom of the card. Thanks. Card. I'm curious to see if this ever loads the. It's got all of the card pieces, but it's still working. Oh, you know what? It's going to totally zip through the resources. Yep, all resources remain unchanged. There's going to be no resources. Shoot, I forgot to remind you to include 100% of the resources too. And that's still going. Huh. Interesting. This is how we learn. It's nice that it tells you what to do. I mean, you can kind of learn a little bit about the coding. Updated the card component to use Flexbox. Flexbox, well, it's kind of like auto layout in Figma. And it's telling you specifically like what it did. So you can see it as you're starting. If you know a little bit about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and you're learning about React in these things, it's handy in that it tells you what it's doing. So you can also learn as you're building. Did this thing ever? Huh, interesting. So this thing just totally failed out. That sucks. Because we do want a stable thing. Otherwise, what's the point? If it's not a stable, usable site, then there's zero impact, the same impact. We'll see how this goes. And then once this is 100% done, I'll wait, make sure it's 100% done, this version 27, and then I'll share it, and then we will sign off and see you next time. Still going. wonder if it's going to time out. What do you think? It's totally me. Maybe one lesson takeaway is if you can think of something, maybe a useful tool or something else that doesn't require a lot of managing a lot of content, like the thing I'm doing, it's probably going to be a lot faster and easier. Think about things like calculators, like useful calculators, or what else? Maybe honestly, just maybe a list of, instead of having these resources, maybe I would bet smarter off coming up with a list of tips and tricks that involve the resources. All right, it's working. Continue, yes, continue, because we're a couple minutes over. I'm assuming it's going to finish adding those other buttons. And we see the issue is fixed. Yay. $54 resources. All right, 54 resources. Cool. Now let's see. I haven't been unlisting these things. I don't know where these may be appearing, but okay, that loaded almost instantly. Just give me a lot more confidence. Look at that. I don't know what this thing is. Maybe I need to remove things I haven't verified. It's not my list, but this is really just to get to a prototype. I think some of the other functionality I'd love to do is, these tips are really short. I wonder if it's just, if we can just include them in the cards. Include them in the cards, or have some easy way to like jump between these things. We do have this stuff, research. So many of these don't make sense for research. Snagit? Like, why is Snagit research? I'll have to clean up some of the stuff. All right, but we're out of time, so let's stop there. Hope y'all are having a great time with V0 as your partner and designing your own cool stuff. Can't wait to see. Until next time, I'm Adam Ruff, and this is UX Design Contest 17. Good luck, everyone.